Well, right now, the president coming out swinging at critics of his signature health care law a day after the House voted to delay its employer and individual mandates. The president said just a short time ago that folks are already seeing significant savings under the new law. And he took a jab at the GOP for wanting to repeal Obamacare. Take a listen.
Republicans in the House of Representatives voted for nearly the 40th time to dismantle it. We've got a lot of problems in this country, and there's a lot of work that Congress needs to do, and yet instead we're refighting these old battles. Sometimes I just try to figure out why.
Let's ask Senator John Barrasso. He chairs the Republican Policy Committee. He's not only a senator, but also a doctor as well, practicing orthopedic surgeon for 24 years. Senator Barrasso, why? Why do Republicans continue to attempt this?
Because Americans of both parties think that this health care law is bad for them personally. They believe it's going to raise the cost of their care, and we're seeing that, raise the cost of their taxes, raise the cost of their insurance premiums. At the same time, Americans believe that the quality and availability of their own care will be worse. It's what I hear every weekend in Wyoming at home. But it's not just me. It's what the unions have even said to the president in a letter to Harry Reid and to Nancy Pelosi, saying, hey, this is destroying the fundamental backbone of the American middle class, which is the 40-hour work week.
That's not what the president is saying. That's not what he said just less than an hour ago. He said that, and he looked at states like New York, for example, and said that premiums are coming down, that health care is becoming more affordable. You say it's not. Why is there such a discrepancy? I mean, why are folks looking at completely different numbers? Why is something that's happening in New York not happening in the state of Wyoming?
Because the president, I believe, is grasping at straws. The New York example affects only 17,000 individuals. Ohio said their rates are going up in that individual market by 88%. So for every one person that may see the benefit that the president's talking about in New York, there are another 150 people in New York who are completely uncovered with insurance. So the president even talks about some checks that went out for about $100 on average. That's going to be gobbled up by the new health insurance tax that goes in that affects everyone with health insurance come January 1st.
If you could take your hat off as a senator. I know you've been critical of the bill, but I'd like to talk to Dr. Barrasso, if I could, for a moment, not about any knee issues or anything like that, but about care. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what happens with politics, this is health care. It's very personal for everyone in this country and how we're treated when we have any sort of issue or health problem. And that's so key for so many families. So, Dr. Barrasso, when we talk about premiums coming down, what does that mean for the care that we're going to receive? Because when you hear that things are going to be cheaper, sometimes that seems better. But I'm curious, in your medical professional opinion, what does that really mean for us in real life?
Yeah, the president continued to talk about coverage instead of care. And like you, Jenna, I believe what people were looking for with health care reform was so they could get the care that they need from a doctor that they choose at a lower cost. And we're not seeing that. The president's answer is to put a lot of people on the Medicaid program, which is a program where we know so many individuals aren't even able to see a doctor if they have Medicaid. It's a failing system. There's a better way to do this, but I believe we need to continue to dismantle the president's health care law, try to repeal it, take it apart piece by piece. But the president even admits there's a failure when he goes and delays for a year the employer mandate. What he needs to do is also get rid of the individual mandate, because come January 1st, every American has to buy government-approved health insurance. And I will tell you, that's not in the best interest of the American people, and many times this is insurance that they don't need, don't want, and can't afford.
We'll see what happens. No one expected the employer mandate not to go into effect, and now we'll see what happens to the individual mandates. We have a few months until that time. Just a quick question for you, Senator, because your state
Jenna
has certainly made a lot of news this week. Liz Cheney saying she's going to get into the Senate race there, and there's been a lot of folks with a lot of different opinions on that. You've said it's the wrong race at the wrong time. Why do you believe that?
Well, Mike Enzi is my friend, my colleague. I work closely with him. I think he does an excellent job representing the people of Wyoming in the United States Senate. He is a solid conservative record, and I support his reelection. I have great respect for the entire Cheney family, for the vice president, for Lynn, as well as for Liz, and I just think it's the wrong race at the wrong time.
On Special Report last night, there was a debate about this on the panel, and some suggested that this type of infighting for the Republican Party in the state of Wyoming that we're already seeing is indicative of a larger problem with the Republican Party overall that the GOP must confront. Your thoughts?
Well, I think a lot of people want to run for office because they're very concerned about the direction of the country and where the president is trying to take the country, especially with his executive orders that affect energy production, affect jobs, hurt our economy. So there is a lot of enthusiasm nationwide with Republican candidates who want to come forward because of what they see as the president doing and its impact on our country.
Senator Barrasso, we always cover a lot of ground. At least John's knee issues that we'll get to at a different time. We'll have you come back to actually talk about some of the orthopedic work that you do someday. Senator, it's great to have you. Thank you very much. Look forward to having you again.
Thanks, Jenna. Great to be with you. Thank you.
My knees will.
I don't mean to bring it in, but, you know, every time I'm like, maybe we should ask Senator Barrasso about what's going on.
I've lost count of how many knee surgeries I've had, and I'll take all the advice I can get, especially from a senator.